Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, hi, my name is Natasha and it's fantastic to have you here. For today's video, we have two things that we're talking about today. We are unboxing and taking a look at the Life Code Tarot by Janis King and her newly released book, Tarot, The Life Code. So I will discuss more about the book at the end of the flip through because I want you to get an overall feel for the deck because this becomes important in her book. So her book talks about a new way of structuring the tarot to learn, as well as how she invented this tarot deck right here. So of course, thank you so much to Janis for sending this my way, and everywhere that you can legitimately purchase this will be linked in the description box below, both the deck and the book. So if this looks familiar to you, this is the prototype deck that we reviewed a couple years ago, and I fell in love with it, and I am so excited to share the fully fleshed out version here. Packaging is great. We have the magnetic opening here. All right, let's get into it. The Life Code is the key to an abundant, joyful, and fulfilling life. This deck presents the Fool and the Magician as heroes of the journey of life. To make the most of this journey, we must master the first three energies: our emotion, our will, and our minds, which will in turn help us create an abundant experience here on Earth. It's not easy, but what adventure ever is. The good news is we are guided every step of the way. Once you have the code, you can create whatever you like in real life. See life's energy lit up in gorgeous color in a way that brings what lies behind the tarot to life. You are the magician, the power is yours, and all you have to do is learn the code. So this is a UK-based deck, and I believe it retails for £55 in the UK. I don't know how much that is in US currency. So everything is energy. We have the Life Code Tarot down below. I fell in love with how easy this deck was to read. Look at the edges. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so before we get into that, let me show you the guidebook here. We have a tremendous table of contents. So major and minor arcana, all of the page numbers listed for each card. So it is traditional when approaching a tarot deck to see the major arcana as the main event. They are called the majors after all. The progression of major cards is how we define the Fool's journey, and that seems to make sense, but what if that's not quite right? As I delved deeper into the relationship between the major and minor parts of the deck, it appeared to me that it was, in fact, the minor suits that were actually the driving force behind everything. Each minor suit describes the process to an aspirational goal, and those aspirations are the key ingredients to a happy life. The majors are the guidance to achieving each of those aspirations. We can see this like the recipe for a cake, which she talks about in her book that just released. It's super interesting. We can see this like the recipe for a cake with cups, wands, and swords as the ingredients, and pentacles being the cake itself. How rich the cake is depends on the quality of the ingredients we use and our skill in making them. The majors are the instructions, or the method. Unlike making a cake, though, we can't buy our life ingredients at the store. We must make them from scratch. So it starts with understanding how each of the minor arcana suits kind of are these ingredients to make up the bigger picture. And I really appreciate how she went about making this deck. The artistry is amazing, and the color of each suit is also really on point. So let's get into it. Ooh, cardstock is nice. Okay, it is a matte, and it is on the medium side. So it's a nice thickness, but it's still flexible and snaps back. And there is the art. Okay, we have white borders, the title at the bottom, and a number. And so as you go through the deck, you start seeing how relatable it is and how much you can read with it without it being difficult. Your intuition really kind of takes over. The symbolism is still there, even though it might not be exactly like the Rider-Waite-Smith version. And you can see how the colors kind of line up with like certain color chakras. And I like how the Hierophant kind of mirrors the High Priestess art. So it feels like in this art style, things kind of compound about each other, and it just makes sense. I was very impressed with it the first time I unboxed the prototype. So her book that just released, it does talk about how she came up with this deck, how they went about it, how they actually mapped out the suits and the major arcana in this star formation, since they all kind of connected in a specific way. And just how energy was a big influence for this deck. And then how it all kind of starts with the Ten of Cups, because that's the ultimate aspiration, right? It starts with love. So the way that she kind of uses the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and then the Aces as guiding lights for the deck's creation is really intriguing, is a really interesting way of learning the tarot, especially if you're new, because it kind of makes sense to then the rest of the cards, the rest of the puzzle, so to speak. So I highly recommend, if you enjoy this deck, to purchase her bigger book. I'll say bigger book because we do have a guidebook here as well, because it goes way more in depth with how she created this, as well as how to learn it in a different way. And how all the colors combine. We have cups. And each of the aces has this growing plant around them. I feel like this deck also brings tarot back a little bit more down to earth, if that makes sense. Sometimes it can feel a little too distant or a little too abstract. This one kind of brings it down to how it makes sense to your everyday life. So here's the Ten of Cups, and how this is kind of the pentultimate of like what you want to achieve. And then how the Ten of Pentacles is like the next step to that. Like you already have the love, that's what you want, that's the fulfillment. And then the Ten of Cups is actually having the abundance to pass down on your legacy. Just really interesting read. I also don't want to give too much away of the book. But it also gives you examples of like how to read a sample and go about it in a different way. Now we have the green color. But yeah, this is very beginner friendly. And even if you want to try her method of reading, it doesn't take anything away from the, I'll say, normal or traditional readings. It's just a different way to learn. The 10. So there's more family members. I love the vibrancy, but I love that like the figures are blacked out. We have a tractor for the night. Swords. I love this one. The little skeleton stressed out. Like, as you can see too, there's imagery here that suggests what the card meaning is, you know, but it's not too terrifying or scary. It's not overly anxious. It just brings that feeling and that archetype down to earth. That you recognize it, you understand it, your subconscious mind sees it. We got an airplane jet here. So it does show you the different quick movements or how fast the knights are moving. And last we have wands. I love this too. And even with no facial features, you can feel the energy of the character in the card. You can understand what they're feeling, what they're conveying. I just love that. And we have a fast car. All right, let's see how this shuffles, and we will pull a card. Ooh, I got them all mixed up. We will pull a card and read from the guidebook. Oh yeah, oh that is nice. I love this edging so much. Yeah, that is a nice shuffle. Okay. And overhand shuffle. Okay, we're going to read for 3 of Wands here. Okay. So we have some keywords up top, a picture of the card. So it says progress, big picture thinking, growth, and potential. And it says, one cannot help but see the 3 of Wands as an optimistic card. The woman on the card is using a telescope viewer to scan the horizon. It invites you to take a look and see what's out there. This is not a card of detail, it's a big picture card, a card of visualization. It's time to go and find out what more could be available to you. Perhaps leaving your place of safety means going further over water. Perhaps it's worth exploring international job opportunities. Whatever it is, it's worth going for. So just enough information to help you understand what's going on. We've got keywords. And let me just show you. Yep, we got the same exact thing going on for the major arcana too. So I really love this deck. I think there was a lot of time, effort, and love put into the creation of this. And I love all of the different aspects that come into play here. I love the energy that it gives. I love that it's a daily deck. I think that it's phenomenally done. This deck also won the 2024 Cartomancy Award, which is phenomenal. I mean, you can kind of see why. And for her brand new book, I will read you the summary. It says, the award-winning Life Code Tarot deck, including the system in this book, revealed itself piece by piece over an 18-month period, 3 weeks after Janis King returned from a life-changing week at the Arthur Findlay College. What began as an idea for a new deck, but what emerged next was a way of seeing tarot through a direct lens, a new system that redefines the relationship between the major and the minor arcana of the tarot deck, casting them in quite a new light. This is not a learn to read tarot book, although it will certainly be a great place to start your journey. These pages will add a new dimension to how you see tarot and its continuing evolution as a spiritual language, a different perspective that both repositions our understanding of its purpose and supercharges its readings. By casting you in the role of the magician, tarot becomes an instruction manual showing you how to create a rich, loving, and abundant life experience. A tarot map for how to do life. So that retails for paperback in the US for $19.95. And like I said earlier, it's just a really interesting way about how she created this deck and then how she uses the symbolism, the meanings to create a brand new kind of structure in her readings. And so it was very eye-opening. I love learning new different techniques and ways to go about utilizing tarot. So this deck, I can't say enough good things about it. I really do love it. I enjoy reading with it. And if you are a beginner, it's a great place to start if you feel called to it. So again, thank you so much to Janis for sending this my way. I am so excited for you and so happy for you. Congratulations on all of your success. And thank you all for hanging out with me today. I would love to know what your thoughts are. Do you own this deck? Are you excited about the book? What are all your thoughts? Please let me know down in the comment section below and leave me a rainbow emoji to let me know you've made it this far in the video. Thank you again. And if you have not done so already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on your way out of this video. That way you will never miss an upload from me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.